YouTube, what is up? We are back with another day. Just got back from a softball tournament. This is Memorial Day softball tournament, and we were cooking. The swing feels back. We had a home run wristband, so I can't say the swing is totally back because we were just swinging for the fences. But we went 14 for 15. Got walked a bunch of times. The times we didn't get walked, we hit absolute nukes, and it was an awesome carny tournament. I love these carnies, man. They just put you in the middle of a carnival, and nobody has any idea what's going on, but everybody drunkenly shows up to these softball tournaments. And it's a complete blast. And we got our back-to-back Zimmerman World Championships done this week, so it's cool to end the weekend on top after these past couple weekends of getting our butts kicked. But we got another tough tournament this Friday. Dial in and get after that. Today, we started off with some circular single-leg pogo hops. I fucking love these. I've done 8-vector pogo hops, both single-leg and double-leg. I really have liked those, just getting that ankle exposed to those different positions. But that circular hop on that single leg was pretty sickening to feel that ankle hit all of those angles and kind of bounce through that circle. So we had 5 minutes of that to start. Then we went to those Russian lunges, or those switch lunges in that low ceiling position. Those felt really, really nice. Priming us for those sprints, and then we ended with some circular sprints in that shuttle position. So we were push-up sprints, hit that shuttle, sprint all the way back. The turf's a little sketchy here on those curve sprints. It's not the best sticky turf. They're for straight line stuff. A lot of our athletes eat shit a little bit when we're doing some of that curve stuff, and I almost ate it on that second sprint. So that's my excuse why the turf isn't super thick, but those felt awesome. And the hips and glutes are cooking today. With those, we hit our snatch mobility stuff. We hit our prone dislocates that we've been working on, some hangs, some butcher stretch, just open up those shoulders. And we got every minute on the minute, 20 minutes snatches today, snakes and ladders, something I haven't heard of before, but KDOT's got us programming. So if you make the weight twice in a row, you get to move up, and if you miss the weight, you got to move down. So it's kind of a little gamification way of doing these snatches, and we got those. Then we got some quick power cleans today because we didn't get them in last week. And then we're going to finish with some squats. And if we got time, we got accessories from last week that we didn't hit, but I don't know if we're going to get those in before softball because we got league night tonight prepping for a big tournament this weekend. So let's get after it. Let's go. All right, so we got these snake and ladder snatches here, 20 minutes, every minute on the minute here. If we hit 2 of them in a row, we get to move up weight. If we miss a weight, we got to go down a weight. KDOT wants us starting at 1 plate, so we'll probably do 1 plate, like 155, 175, 185, work our way up all the way into something that's sexy. We'll start with tarps on, and with no belts and no straps, and we'll work our way off to basically being completely naked with belts on and straps on. So as weight goes up, clothes come off, and it's going to be a sickening day. So let's get after it. Let's go. Oof. Oof. Tarps off. We're getting closer. Let's go. Oof. Oof. Hey. Oof. We are strapped and loaded, ready to rip 195, starting to get into some big boy weight. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Ooh, hoo, hoo. That bar's fucking cooking today, boys. Let's go. Oof. 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 Woo. Bar's moving, a little sloppy. Got to stick that lock out. Oh, yeah. Woo. Work up to 225. It's going to get spicy. Let's go. All right, now we got to get after it. We got 225 on the bar. Let's rip. Oh, yeah. Wow, that bar's flying today, boys. Ooh. Woo. Oh, yeah. Woo. Ooh. Woo. All right, we got 245 on the bar. These last two are going to be fucking sends. Bar's feeling snappy, getting a little bit of fatigue in that lower back from the catch. We're going to man up. We're going to get something big today. Let's fucking go. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Come on. Woo! All right, that 245 felt sickening. We're going to go for a little PR here. Go a little off program. We got 1 rep to do it. 255. Let's rip. Here we go. All right. Now we got these pause squats. We got an 8-second pause at the bottom of the first rep. Then we got 4 reps right away after. We got 80% of our last week's 4 sets of 4 here. Trying to keep it poppy, trying to keep it explosive with these. We got some fast, explosive power cleans over here. They're like a mesocycle power clean. I'll show those at the very end. Pairing these two together, not for any sports science reason, because we got 20 minutes left to work out before league starts. So let's get after it. Let's go. Let's go. Woo! All right, before we hit this next set, I'll answer a little Q&A here. Ilalu, I don't really know how to say the name in the Q&A, said that he doesn't feel comfy barefoot sprinting and asked if there's any reason specifically why we barefoot sprint and if he has to. And honestly, I don't think you have to. I used to be a massive believer in doing things barefoot, and I still think there's time and place where you can go barefoot. I just think when it gets to an output-based thing, you should use equipment that allows you to get to that max output, right? And I still think there's time and place, especially when you're working some plyometrics and hops with that barefoot, just to feel that foot interact with the ground. I think there's a time and place just to get the feel of the foot into grass and turf when you're sprinting. I think it can unlock a lot of things in the sprints and how you feel when you sprint. But I honestly do believe the majority of your sprints should be done with cleats or spikes to really push max outputs when it comes to an output-based thing. If you're doing a feel-based drill, we're doing some build-ups, we're doing some Excel things. And again, even sometimes when you're sprinting max velocity, it's okay to go barefoot. And I do think you get a lot of feels there, and I think building up that foot and having a working, functioning foot and doing some things barefoot where you're hopping and doing some plyometrics barefoot to have that foot interact with the ground is powerful, but I do not think by any means it's necessary. I think a lot of our athletes just kind of stay barefoot now because, one, they're too lazy to bring shoes, which I yell at them all the time for, and two, it used to be the culture here of going barefoot and it was like their weird cult thing to do, and now everybody just bullies everybody into doing barefoot. But I really do try to push my athletes to wear shoes when they sprint. A lot of them just bring shitty shoe wear, so I don't think it's the end of the world to sprint barefoot. I think there's some benefit there, but I do not believe the benefit there outweighs the benefit of wearing spikes and cleats and getting a max output when it comes to your sprints, especially if you don't feel comfy doing it. But if you really don't feel comfy barefoot, I think that's probably the person that should spend a little bit more time barefoot in some of the things that you're doing, because that's probably telling you something about your foot and how it's interacting with the ground. And those feels can probably pay dividends in your max output type stuff, but don't overthink it. When you're sprinting fast, wear shoes that allow you to sprint fast. All right, let's go. Let's go. Last question we'll answer before we get to the end of this video, finishing up with these squats and these cleans. Orphe Trains asks, is variation a key to athletic development, or should you pick one to two things and really hammer in on those? And a lot of this goes back to like the general versus specificity argument that I've talked about in a lot of videos. But I really want to touch on the variation side of things. The key to athletic development is training for a long period of time, getting a high level stimulus into the body at a high frequency with a lot of inputs of that high stimulus. And whatever way you can get that done, it doesn't really matter. The power of the variation is that it allows the athlete psychologically to show up and give intense without getting burnt out. There's some physiological benefits there too of not wearing out the same muscles over and over again and not just beating yourself into the ground, but a lot of it is these athletes that have mastered 4 or 5 movement patterns where they know their maxes, they know everything they have to put in, and they have to have the most perfect day in the world to PR on the things that they've been trying to PR on for the last 10 years. And if you just give them a little variation, they can get out of their heads, get a high level of stimulus done that day, and we can keep them showing up because they're continually PRing on this cycle of movement patterns that we have. So instead of doing 2 squat patterns, we're doing 15 squat patterns, and we're PRing on all of them, but we're still getting a high level of squat stimulus done that day, or jump stimulus, or sprint stimulus. But again, the key to athletic development is getting a high level of stimulus into the body over a long period of time and a ton of inputs of that high stimulus. And variation just allows you to do that for most athletes in a way that beats them up less, both mentally and physically. And that's the power of the variation, right? So there's no magic in these exercises. There's magic in the ability of continually getting a high stimulus in without getting burnt out doing that high stimulus activity, right? So same as last thing, don't overthink it. Just get a high level of stimulus in whatever way you can get that in. If you're an autistic motherfucker that just loves hammering 3 things in a row and you're not getting beat up in the body-wise, I would argue most athletes still get beat up in that sense, even if they are psychologically able to do that. And variation still has a place there just to space out where that stimulus is stressing the body over and over again. But again, the key is that high stimulus. And if you can get that high stimulus in without getting beat up and you're able to recover from it, that is the goal. So there's no magic in these exercises. There's no magic in this variation. There's no magic in the cool that we do. There's magic in continually showing up every single day and getting high level of stimulus in, right? So let's get after this third set here. Let's go. All right, last set of squats here, then we're gonna get these cleans. I'll show you those. We had 4 sets of 3 cleans, 4 sets of 4 here on these squats. Pretty simple day, but I'm feeling fucking good. Let's rip. Let's go. All right, and then our last set of cleans here. I've been pairing these with the squats just because we're desperately running out of time. We're going to get to league at 6:20. It starts at 6:25, so we got to cycle through this a little bit quicker. These are from last week when I didn't get them. I got all my snatch work done last week, but missed these cleans, and I really wanted to get a touch of this in. We got cleans tomorrow, so I'm not going to push these super heavy. But we got these meso track cleans just from the hang position, ripping that baby up, cleaning. As soon as we drop, we're rebounding back into a clean, and we got 3 of them. They feel really, really nice and snappy. Let's get it. Those felt good. If that's an indicator of cleans tomorrow, we're going to have a good day. Appreciate you guys watching. Keep chopping wood.